Hello, dear Lord. The economy is in shambles. We are overinflating the economy with murder mystery games. I'm ruining everything. Oh God, everything's going to just plummet. Murder mystery. The market has become oversaturated. This is what I get for liking a type of game and too much. A genre that appeals to me too greatly. Oh no. The Mackit. The Mackit's going terribly. Oh no, how's everybody doing? Aside from the market crisis of me being too obsessed with murder mystery games. And I think this is the third one this month, actually, thinking about it like that. Thinking about it like that does seem like a lot. I was like, surely I haven't done that many, actually. But actually, yeah, now that I think about it, this is the third one this month. Macronomics. I'm President Ronald Reagan, and I am going to cause problems. Oh no. God, I gotta stop this. Okay. Let's look at the Duolingo streak today, chat. Let's look at the Duolingo streak. 138 days. Isn't that fucking cool as hell? Aren't I dope? I gotta get all the bad talking out at the top of the stream. That way, whenever I'm playing actual video game, I'm cooler. You know? Oh, goodness. So today we're playing Tangle Tower, which I don't know much about. I say that every single time I pull up a game. Pretty much. The ads have started, and that is cool, because that's why we do the intro. So, it just... I don't know, I rewatched some of the stuff on the Steam page to, like, look at the stuff. It still looks so cute to me. The art style is so... I like it. I feel like... the characters are so shaped. They're so shaped. I love it. Aha! I was waiting to see... Okay. Okay. So it did work slightly. I'm still working on the Discord. My plan is to fully open the Discord in the new year, because it is streaming this on December 21st. So I think the new year, new Discord, you know? That's my idea, my plan, my thing, my smartness. I guess this is the sort of like time of year to talk about like New Year's resolutions or whatever. I don't know if this counts as one, but I think next year at some point I wanna stream more. An extra day a week, I think. I don't know what day, but I want to. Because I like streaming, and you know, I only do it twice a week. I feel like I can do more, you know? I like doing it. I'd have to talk to my mods. I'll talk to mods after stream, you know, see what day works best for you guys. We don't have to discuss that here and now, you know? But, you know, I think I would like it, you know? I like streaming. It means I get more time to play murder mystery games, cause, good God. I love to play I love to figure out shit, okay? I love solving a little problem, and boy oh boy, it's like escape rooms. That they're similar in that. I like solving shit. I like them. It's fun. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm just waiting for the ads to be over, really. This game, it seems like a cute little silly little fun game, and I believe that the people who made it are actually coming out with like a new entry in this soon. Let me look at... Yeah, they have a demo out for the next game in this, I guess, series. I believe this one is like a sequel to a previous one, but I don't think I have to see the... I don't think I have to know the previous one in order to do it. I might like miss a joke here and there, but I don't think I'll miss much. They have like a completely different art style, so that's my marking of it. Let me pause Sans here because ads should be just about over. I can turn the music back up in video game. Ba-ba-ba. And as always, chat, yell at me if it's too quiet or too loud. Video game. It's doing the thing where it doesn't want to exist. The solution I found to when this happens is I just alt-tab between the video game and my OBS really quickly. So I'm just over here like, eh. Oh, that worked! There we go. Alright. I know I said it worked like I'm surprised. I've had to do that multiple times now. Sorry, I'm leaning away. Leaning away from my rig. It's gonna look weird. We're good. It's like, oh god, I have to plug in an electronic, or else it will die. Tangle Tower, baby! Video game. Ooh, it's already so pretty. Sorry, this is the kind of shit that I can't draw, and it's so good. You said the name of the game so many times, and you still read Tangle Tower. This is an E. The beginning. Bong. Tangle Tower. Mid-afternoon. Little boat. Lake's Edge. Okay, you're telling me to click on you, but look at this bird.
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune.
Good little tune.
Please don't do that.
Do not tell me what to do. I will sing my little bird tune, should I wish.
It's a little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on or off the island.
What a comforting thought.
Can you guys hear them okay? Ah, birds in the background. A little thing. Okay, can I like untie it?
I tied the boat up to the mooring post, so it'll stay put. For now. Probably.
Loving the confidence.
Confidence. We love it. Sounds fine. Good, good, good. And what's up with these little thingies?
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent. Wooden wind chimes.
Okay, I'll talk to you now.
Ready, Sally?
Rumor, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. I am very prepared. Case file. Cool. Case file. Murder victim. Freya Fellow, 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's Tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Wah. She ate the cadmium red paint. Yeah, that's why there was a stab wound on her. So this is blood on the painting. Interesting. Tangle Tower. A small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It's surrounded by a circular lake. The water is an unusual mix of colors. She was eating it with her palette knife. I mean, maybe. Okay, then how did the blood get on the Okay. The lake is enclosed by sheer, pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Freya. Freya Fellow. So you're the victim here. Right, and then Flora is the person... Yeah, you were doing the portrait of Flora. You're Freya. You got a lot of little colors on you. Is that paint, or... Okay. This is all stuff that we've read. How was Freya killed? That's what we're here to find out. Also probably who. Those are both probably... things.
It's a garden, I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
Okay. Map. Oh, we're little guys! Oh, I love the little scrungly. The way that they, like, wiggle. Gardens. Egg.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
Bird.
What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard.
Yes, yes.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster.
Playing a harp.
Playing a harp. Hang on a second.
Oh?
This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
But what if I lucked into it? What if I lucked into it? Okay, I'm getting a feel for what these symbols look like. Okay, that one's a piano, that one's lips, that one's a bell, that one's a bird. I think, did I get it? I win.
Looks like he's playing a
You're some kind of harp expert, Sally.
Did you not know? I had a harp when I was a kid. A little handheld one. Only 8 strings.
Liar.
Ha!
It's the truth, I swear.
Let's come back later.
I'm banking on
It
that being
must
the
do
solution.
something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Harp statue. An old weathered harp statue of an amphibious creature holding a large harp. Symbols are engraved on each of the harp's 4 column segments.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
That's exactly what I was about to
No.
ask. It's got little feet.
The pond has little stone feet.
Seems a bit superfluous.
You're superfluous.
Oh. Mushroom?
This is some garden.
Do the plants all look a little strange to you?
This is a, pergola? Is that? No. Maybe? What is this?
It's a bandstand.
Bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Ah. Little columns?
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Too
You're supposed
quiet.
to say too quiet.
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
Just right amount of quiet. Love to see it. Not often you come across it. Main entrance. Okay. Well, obviously this thing, but let's see here. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a heart engraved in the tree. I didn't know people actually did that.
PPFF.
So Freya, or somebody else in the family, because there was also Flora, right? So that might just be a thing in the family. And then who else lived here? What was the name of the other family? Pointer family. They might follow a symbol or naming convention. Somebody was trying
Looks
to chop
like
that
someone
down.
tried to chop it down, but then gave up.
Can you blame them?
Gazebo is the word I was looking for, yeah.
Oh.
What?
Oh. There's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah, Tangle Tower.
Tangle Tower, indeed. Twir. Little...
Little bird feeders.
Ah.
How do you know they're for birds?
Good point.
Is that an envelope?
It's been opened. Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
If they didn't want it to be read, they would have put it
Oh,
here.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. The envelope has been ripped open. There's a single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Huh. Is this... what is this?
A path leading towards
Oh.
the stone square.
I thought this little line... that might just be the outline of a leaf. It looked like a necklace. Thought I was being cool as hell.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
Damn.
Should
Ding
we
dong.
ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody.
Dun 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 dun. I might need that at some point.
Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Video game logic, yes, yes. But also,
Let's
what's
head
to the
to the
right?
crime scene first. It's at the top of the west tower, I think.
Top of the west. Okay, north, east, west is the left. I'm gonna be honest, doing the northeast southwest thing there, that was a big lie on my part because I always think north, south, east, west, which is just, I know, an odd way of doing it, but you know, instead of, you know, just rotating, but I don't. Aquarium?
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it.
Damn.
Anymore.
Pot.
Sally, check those plants for clues.
Do it, Sally.
Is soil a clue?
It could be. What about this one?
Sally, check those plants for clues.
Is soil a clue?
Even more of it. Fascinating. The killer must have been covered in soil and tried to hide it where it would be never seen. Unfortunately for him, or her, or them. Ah, non-binary killer. I'm betting it all on a non-binary killer. It was a
What
rhino.
is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Oh, that's a lot of names. Okay. Let's see here. Click.
Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our case file.
Is she?
Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was married twice.
Scandal.
Scandal. Okay, so we have Lord Fellow and Lady Fellow. They gave birth to Flint Fellow and Felix Fellow, but Lord Fellow also got with Selena Stonetop and had Felicia Fellow. Felicia Fellow got with Damien Dusk and had Freya Fellow. Earlier here, Flint Fellow got with Emily Everstone and had Fitz Fellow, while Felix Fellow got with Flora Remington and had Fiona Fellow. Lord Remington and Lady Remington had Flora Remington, Richard Remington, and Primrose Remington. Richard had no kids. Primrose got with Percival Pointer and had Poppy Pointer. Lord Pointer and Lady Pointer had Percival Pointer and Pandora Pointer. Pandora Pointer got with Buck Brackley and had Penelope Pointer. Cool.
Lord
Yeah,
Fellow.
okay, you're the one who got
Scandal.
married twice.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names?
Nope, not allowed.
Lord Remington.
He sounds important. Lady Remington.
I think I have one of those in my bathroom.
What? I don't get that joke.
Lord Pointer.
This goes back a couple of generations. Lady Pointer.
How do you become a lady?
Not
I
sure.
want to be a lady.
Maybe HRT?
Selena Stonetop.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
Damn. Well, I mean, to be fair, so did all these people.
Buck Brackley.
What a name.
Do you think he still lives here? Felicia Fellow.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still lives here? Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at all.
Damien Dusk.
Whoa. Is it too late to change my name to Detective Dusk?
It's Freya's father. Do you think he still lives here?
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
Interesting.
Emily Everstone. Do you think she still lives here?
They got a lot of
Fitz
dialogue
fellow.
to say. Do you
Half
think?
fellow,
Do you think they still
half
live here?
Everstone.
Do you think he still lives here? Felix Fellow.
Do you think they
Looks
still
like
live here?
He married his way into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Fiona Fellow.
Do you think she still lives
Dead
here?
center. She must be important.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Do you think she still lives here?
Flora Remington.
Do you think she still
I
lives
think she's
here?
mentioned in our case file.
Aww. Do you think he still
Richard
lives here?
Remington.
The one and only.
Ah.
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
God damn it! I gave up on calling it, but now I
Poppy
got it.
Pointer.
Do you think she
She's
still
half
lives here?
Remington and
Do you
half...
think she still lives
Yeah.
here? Percival
Does he
Pointer
still live here?
married into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Does she still live here?
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by accident, is it?
Do you think she still lives here?
Yo. Do you
Penelope
think she still
Pointer.
lives here?
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here?
Oh my god, I hope we find out whether these people live here or not. Okay, so we have an up and a side here.
Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this.
Aww.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
Mmm.
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
Mmm.
How
Good
very
point.
perceptive of you.
It's
What's up with
not
this door?
locked.
What about this one?
A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
Ah.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Good points all around. Okay, there's Freya again. Alright, so there's two here.
Let's head to the crime scene first.
Crime
It's at the top of the west
scene.
tower, I think.
Yeah, fine. Alright, who still lives here? Flora's Tower. Okay, a lot to look at. I guess I'll talk to you
Let's
first.
take a look at that painting first. Let's take a look at that painting first.
You know, I came in here to be, and I was gonna be like, okay, I should just look around. Then I was like, there's a person in here. I shouldn't be rude. I'll talk to the first person I see. And the game's like, no. The painting.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Freya was unable to finish the painting as she had died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. That is a good point. Why would she even be holding a knife?
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Oh? Something strange about how Freya was killed. Was used to kill, was completely covered and was used to knocked out is holding a knife tip. Okay, Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting?
Yes.
Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Yes.
Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right. But it's not actually a knife. It can't stab
See
Not
any
as far as
other
you
knives
know.
around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even
What if that was
you
the end
were
of the
right,
game?
Where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
What? Ah, an unfinished painting. Alright.
Is that an egg?
Egg.
An egg with bird feet.
Egg.
It's also covered in gemstones.
Egg.
What a completely ordinary object.
I think it's a container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
Ah. Okay, wait. Alright, I see a couple. What's this?
Nope. Did
Okay.
you check the clue on the back? I'm pretty sure it
Yeah,
explains where
yeah.
to lead to the gem.
I was just checking. Okay, so... Purple... Yellow... I think I'm doing this right. Could be completely wrong. Red... Okay, purple, yellow, red, green. I'm thinking, cause like, doot, and then doot, cause they don't match up. And then red and green, purple to blue. So this one would be purple to blue. So I've solved both the purples. I can't interact with those purples. I've solved this one, and this one. To blue. Okay, let's do the other thick one here. Red and blue. Red is on the short one, right? Yeah, red is on the... And then blue. Okay, and that leaves... The purple and the purple go together. Let's do this yellow and green one here. And green.
No, that was it.
Haha!
Nice work. Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Damn.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg is a clue, right?
Yeah. Maybe something was in there. Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws. The Baba Yaga's in there. It's her little small house. Alright, we got this little gramophone.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
Interesting. Gramophone. It plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed toward the middle of the room. There's a noticeable crack running through it, all the way from the horn down through the tape deck.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is pink.
To Freya. The cassette tape has a crack down the middle. There's a handwritten message on the label to Freya.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Let's try. Huh. Music.
It's piano music.
Yep. It's a recording of piano music. It plays for a short while before stopping. Cool. There's no little clue hidden in there.
It's so dark back there.
Somehow, the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
It's so dark.
Okay, I thought I was
Somehow
looking
the
at that.
sunlight-
Eyeball?
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Eyeball. Okay.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there. Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Oof. Brush and palette. The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest is a blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. So it is paint on there and not blood?
The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle.
She fell onto her back? I thought she got stabbed in the chest. Unless you mean the back chest? Would the...
No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again.
Interesting. Nothing new. Just... yeah. Alright.
Freya's painting supplies.
Paint. Small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white paint. The glass pots are all cracked down on one side. There's a lot of, like, cracked stuff. Including that egg that we first saw. Not this egg, but the other egg.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Okay. Some books over
A bunch
here.
of old books. Covered in dust now, but they look well read.
What's the view like?
Half the room is a big open window.
I don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
That's a good point. Alright, let's talk to you now. Oh, you look so cool.
Flora Fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Did you commit
Nothing.
the murder?
What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
Ooh, okay.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I
Dang.
think that's the way she likes it.
Good for her.
We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Yesterday?
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you
Ooh.
talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Dang.
Nope. But at least we can say we tried.
Yeah, fair. Statement.
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya?
Are you capable of talking? Or
She's
hearing?
acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
In the painting, she has her eyes closed. Okay then. Oh, Flora.
Anything we should know? Any hobbies? besides staring out the window?
And
Were
Freya?
you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Aw.
Oh, she's listening.
Okay. Oh boy, I got a lot to ask you about, huh? Okay, cool. You know, sometimes when you're playing a game, like an Ace Attorney or something, is the
Did you
first one
ask
that comes
Freya
to
to
mind
paint
here.
this, or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
Like, if it's something that they don't care about, they can talk about it still, and then you have to, like, go through that dialogue over and over again. It says that she was stabbed in the chest, but how did they stab them while the painting was there? That's a good point. I didn't think of that. I was thinking about the blood splatter. If she was facing the painting, then blood splatter would probably go toward the painting, but there's no blood on there except for deliberately on the knife. And if she fell back, this second one might be, you know, this might be true, might be just a stylistic thing. If she fell back, facing the painting, stabbed, fell back onto the ground, why is there blood underneath where her body would have been? Like, it could be, like, outside of it, but it wouldn't have gotten under her the way it is like that, unless she, like, fell and, like, chest down, but they said that she was on her back. Granted, we haven't seen the body.
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep
This is
locked?
your egg?
Is there supposed to be something in there, or is it always empty? Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least not so much under her. Like, that's incredibly in there. Alright. Later, Flora. You're Flora, right? Wait, there's two F names right now. Yeah, I was right. Okay, Flora, Freya. Flora. Lord Remington father. Richard Remington sister. Primrose Pointer sister. Okay. Ah, this is the locations of people. Is there anything suspicious about Flora? Cool. Your parents are Felicia and Damien. Alright, I guess we can look around then, maybe? Now that we visited the crime scene. I want to see what's over here. Stone Square. Ooh, hello. You look cool. Is this a dragon?
It's a sea serpent,
That's close
turned
enough.
into stone by a wizard.
If you say so. What happened to its head?
Decapitated by a wizard.
Beheaded. By the same wizard.
What'd I fucking say? She knows her shit. She knows her lore.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
Damn. Hard work.
It's Tangle Tower. Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
Mushroom.
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
Not in real life.
I want to bounce on it like in Mario.
Looks like it might be about to fall apart. Grimoire, you go
Ooh.
first. A little bridge leading back to the gardens.
Mm.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Oh. Oh.
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate the dials until all 4 hands are in the correct position. Oh, they... Moving... Oh, okay, so they're, like, connected. Okay, I'll wait until
Just gonna rest my brain.
I have more idea. I'll talk to this person first. They might have a clue. Hello.
Wow.
You look cool.
Nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick Grimoire.
Private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
Wow.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client.
Huh.
Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
Wait, we can compare notes. Oh, whoops.
Whoa. Nice cape.
I didn't mean to do that one again.
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Ooh.
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Yay.
What are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours.
I thought she was gonna say days.
5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
Aww. Yeah, it is.
As it
Scars are
happens,
cool.
I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder.
Oh,
I've been investigating
before?
every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers
I
is
guess you
one of
have
the
been here
last
for
on
the
my
last 5
list.
days.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window.
Hmm.
Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It
Interesting.
took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
Interesting.
Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall,
Does he have a
and
little
begun
book on his
up the
head?
fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind
Oh,
me.
you look cool as
She was
hell.
clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I
Interesting.
took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
Interesting. Okay.
Quite the stoic
You know about
statue,
Flora.
isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora found.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically.
Makes sense.
Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
Oh, she does that too. Or unless you said that about her and I got them confused.
314 cases solved.
Wow.
314. Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, She had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it.
Wow.
I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What
F.
signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
Well, you'd make it easier. I mean, isn't that what my job is? To ask people questions and figure things out? If you know things, then I'm asking you questions.
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was
Aww.
disappointed too.
If I find a secret room, I'm going to make fun of you so hard.
You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no then.
Actually, wait, bell? It looked like lips, then piano and bird? Because there were the bells. There was the doorbell. I assume at some point we'll find a piano. That one lady in Hawkshaw. I remember the first syllable of your name. In Hawkshaw's story, had a bird on her head.
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No.
Not yet.
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You
Well,
didn't
it's
see a
not
knife
supposed to
anywhere
be
in
a
Flora's
knife.
room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course,
It was in the
it
egg?
was the painting itself.
Oh.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of
yeah.
thinking.
Every possibility, including the painting.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty
Oh.
yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty.
Flora.
A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you
The
like,
aesthetic.
Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
Aww.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Interesting.
Paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told? Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Paints. Good combo. Okay, let's look at
Is that
these
a
clocks.
clock?
It is.
Till they're in the correct position. Okay, so they can only be in one of the 4 cardinal directions. That's good to know. Do they have to be in the same position?
No.
How do you feel about
So
that?
moving any of the hands turns the
Yeah.
adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
Okay, let's see here. What am I doing? I do not know. Okay.
Reset the puzzle.
Alright. That doesn't really do much. Okay, let me think here. So by moving one, the other two, or the one, depending on which one I'm doing, also move. I can only... Oh! Oh! I just realized that... Okay. So this one has like a little thing on it. It has a little... Okay, does that... What does that line up? That doesn't... I thought that would line up with something. And this doesn't really line up with anything either. Okay, damn it.
Reset the puzzle.
The little opposite of cutouts. The only word I can think of is
Just gonna rest my
cutout.
brain.
But it's not.
A giant
AKA a greenhouse.
Oops. I hit the button. Okay, let's look at the greenhouse. Maybe that person that Hawk something was talking about was going to be in here. Hello. He's staring at me. I'll talk to you in a second.
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
to you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
That's a handsome beetle.
Me and my brother.
Looks like he might have magic powers.
Oh, beetle with magic power.
Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Damn it.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Interesting. Potted fruit. Potted fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is an unusual blue color.
Tools.
Tools.
Used by a gardener. For gardening.
Mmm.
It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not.
Okay, what's this?
A little chart of, actually I have no idea what it's about.
Some Greek symbols here. I know pi, obviously. I think epsilon.
Greek letters? I think.
Yeah,
Kinda reminds me of a periodic
that's what I was
table.
thinking as well.
Greek letters? I think.
Okay, that
What
I'll
do you
probably
make of
learn
it?
more about later.
Not a whole lot.
It'll make more sense when I look around, I guess.
Sally,
Howdy.
don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him.
Hello.
He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
He's
Right,
cute.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Hi,
Mhm.
Fitz.
And why are you so tall?
why not?
I don't know.
Hello.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
Aw.
What's the deal with the plants?
I'm immediately
They're all
endeared to this character.
Kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
The plants?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants.
Mhm.
Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you
Huh.
say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Oh,
Alteration? Like mutation.
cool.
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
Aw,
No.
little blush.
I'm just the gardener.
Aww.
I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at
guy's
the flowers,
cute.
I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's
Poppy.
room was
Oh,
locked.
hello.
That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did.
Ooh.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
Strong.
Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Being made to wait outside. Clunk.
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. She questioned me,
About what?
my work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
Nice.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just
Poppy.
bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away.
What
I
the
didn't
fuck?
really understand her, but she was always kind.
What the? Okay.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally
What's she doing with
suspicious, if
them?
you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh,
Oh god,
I
Lee.
see.
Oh no. The bugs. This guy is so cute. I'm gonna have to be- guys, being completely honest with you guys, I keep having to remind myself to pay attention to what he's saying because I keep getting distracted.
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no
Speculative.
photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
let's call it an informed estimation.
Yeah. Not even Freya could have climbed them, did he say? So does Freya climb things, or...?
Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was.
Oh.
We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly,
Hopefully
that would be
they
kinda
still
fun.
pay me.
Like a twist, you know?
It's of no interest to me, but I
Alright,
overheard
fair.
Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details. How odd.
How odd.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Oh.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all.
Oh.
She was kneeling on the floor.
Interesting. Okay, ads start in a few seconds here. Let's think. Okay. So the harp, probably... I like the orientation that I put all the symbols in, because all the other symbols were fucking nothing. They were just random, like, Rorschach splotches. And the bell makes sense to me as being the doorbell. And then a mouth, piano, bird. I'm guessing I would, like, have to go around and make those things make a noise in that order, maybe? I, like, ring the doorbell and I don't know, if somebody's singing, do that. And then piano and a bird. You know, there was that bird at the very beginning in the bird bath that did a little music whenever I clicked on it. So that is probably the bird. I gotta find the piano and whatever the mouth is. Opened letter. The letter was just like a code. That, so like, hey, the other part of this letter is a code. And there was no other part of the letter, so we'll find that out later, I guess. Not much to do there. We already solved the egg one. Gramophone. The fact that we can... Actually, this might be nothing. I was thinking maybe the fact that we can, like, go forward and backward really fast, we might have a thing where, like, we put a tape in there and then, like, you know those conspiracy theories where it's like, if you play the song backwards, you can hear them saying things in it. But I guess that's actually more of a vinyl thing than a cassette thing, huh? But, you know, it's not nothing. It's a thought. The cassette tape, I'm guessing we'll probably find out that that's somebody's or something. I want to go back and look at the family tree again. To, like, figure out who that, heart... That was, FF plus PP. Ads are over. You should ask Hawkshaw about Fitz. I will do that. I have a thing saying that ads are still going for another minute. They should be, at least. I'm gonna keep thinking, at least. It's like taking this time to think. Cause, like, they're different for everybody, I think. There's also the clocks. The clocks might be a bit difficult to do. My idea would be, like, them having to all face the same direction, but I'm not sure about that. And if I can find something else later that would work, that would be great. Okay. Prussian palette phrase paint. Okay, let's just continue asking Fitz about this stuff.
It's an egg with feet.
Egg with
It
feet?
was locked, but we opened it.
Aha!
And it was empty.
Fun story.
Thank you, Fitz.
That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure.
Huh. So this is Poppy's.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Also Poppy. But to Freya.
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Flora's
Not
room.
exactly.
Noted.
Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
Yeah.
This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gemstony.
Sometimes, you never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
Yeah. Huh. All right,
Fitz's
Fitz.
room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
We'll go do that later. Bye-bye, Fitz. You were cool. All right. Hawkshaw, what's up?
I'll say this. He's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse. But I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa,
Ooh.
scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
Interesting. What you think about this
The
fruit?
people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material.
I
For
don't
what
think
possible
so.
purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth?
I'm immediately siding with Fitz over you. I'm sorry, but his autism swag is incredible. Okay. Don't have much to say to Flora right now. I want to look back at the family tree
What
here.
is that?
I think it's a family tree.
So there's Freya. Okay. And it was an FF and a PP, right? I don't... Maybe... I guess it's... I don't know. I thought there would be a marriage in here that I would be able to point to easily, but also... Girl, I can't read. Consider? Okay. It was FF and PP, wasn't it? Okay. And that's an R.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to...
No.
Okay, so I
think we
thought...
just-
Don't
I
think it's
assume...
locked.
No, that
I'm
means
Lord
pretty sure that's the
Remington?
rule, yeah.
Alright. Some rooms to observe. So this is the... That's the P one. This is the... Percival? What's the last name?
What is
I think it's a
What's the
family
last
tree.
name? Pointer. Okay, but I'm gonna do the fellow one first, though. Well, let's start here. Science! Library. Okay, we got... This one's fallen over.
books about ancient history? I think.
That makes sense for that
These
symbol,
books
I guess.
are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
F.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
Mountain?
Books about geography.
Skip.
Haha, yeah, mood.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically, there's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
I guess maybe Freya's just really into bugs. Did she steal all the bug books?
Books about space.
They're relatively untouched. A book on the floor.
Mm.
Fundamental entomology.
Yeah, entomology.
I guess somebody dropped dead.
Bug.
Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Ooh. Oh! Oh? So what, these mountains are like, sort of like a cracked dome.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
How did we get in here if we had to traverse those mountains?
What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Maybe.
Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
Why
The
not?
search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
Trees?
Books about nature? Books about birds.
Bird
The
books.
shelves are about half empty.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Light.
Sure. Why
Okay,
not?
same.
The arc's downright poetic.
Alright. Big ol' obvious
It's an
thing.
illustrated book about birds.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ooh.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Bird book. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seeds of the Tatum amica pictured. Interesting. It's on the chalkboard.
Chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Oh! Is this the same thing as the thing in the garden? Maybe, maybe not. The way that these are all laid out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
The feather in that book looks similar to the knife in the painting. Oh? Oh, shit! Nice catch. Oh, nice catch, dude.
Curious.
Curious.
I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
Oh, your
May I
eyes.
talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks
Okay.
for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already
Wow.
reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis about the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist,
Fellow.
inventor, innovator.
Innovator.
You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
True.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix.
Flora
but you
and
need not
Felix.
question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi,
mom
you
is
said you were a
Flora.
micro something or other.
Microbiologist.
Nice.
But it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
Hell
What
yeah.
made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed
Nice.
a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red
Nice.
when you get angry?
No,
Aw.
but that would be most amusing.
Hell yeah. Write that down in your little science book.
What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes. However, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi.
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Aww.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh.
I need to hug this girl.
Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Good point. Also, I think the consistency of blood and paint is pretty different. And also, like, when blood has a smell to it, I guess, like, surrounded by paint, it might not. Also, like, it turns brown when it's dried, doesn't it? Blood? So, like...
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44.
44.
Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss,
Aw.
something she has been unable to move beyond.
Well, what is it? Okay, whatever. Tell me about yourself.
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession,
You're only 19?
amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not.
Oh.
He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
Interesting, okay.
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Oof.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and
I was about to make the same joke.
So what's your problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
But he's also real
he was
big.
also carrying a knife.
Fitz, please don't be the murderer.
Name,
You're too cool.
Haksha. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.
Aww.
Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19.
Also
Profession,
only 19.
artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me.
Now you're chill.
There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend
same
a lot of
wavelength
time
then.
with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know
Oof.
why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of
Okay,
you
then.
are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Poppy's a musician
Sounds
then.
like quite a team.
I'm hearing a lot about Poppy.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an
Dang.
inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Aww.
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something.
Yep.
There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
That we know of.
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
Yep.
We're working on it.
I've just gotta
Not.
find a piano and a mouth.
Curious. Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in
Normally?
this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
She was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
Aha, the texture
You
was
noticed that
weird.
just from looking at it once?
Of course,
Yeah.
that belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with
Noticed
all the
that,
eggs?
yeah.
Some people just like eggs.
Fair enough.
The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
Interesting.
Is she laughing?
Interesting reaction.
The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
So it's blood on the brush and palette too.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I
It's normal?
discovered it too was blood,
No?
not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring.
I guess, yeah, it is a different color. The bottle is green, while the other ones are
The
blue.
fruit here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless. Unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious stone.
It's not edible.
Depends
On what?
on the structural integrity of your teeth.
Fair enough. What if you had a blender?
Do you know
Smoothie.
who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
And why is it here?
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
We'll see that later. Alright, what is that? Oh, I guess these are just like dust balls. Little bits of dust and whatever. Okay. Oh, is this where they went? Oh, that's where they went during the murder. Okay. Felicia fellow mother, Damien Dusk father, Fifi fellow close friend, Flora fellow. Interesting. Cool. Later, Fifi. Alright, let's keep looking through this side. We'll go here. Freya's room. Oh, wow. It's a big painting. Okay, lot to see.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
That's weird.
What did you find in the drawers?
Nothing. They're completely empty.
Huh. Paintbrushes?
Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either.
Yeah, that is probably where they put the bugs. I thought there were gonna be a lot more things of that. If he did that like daily or like as often as I got the impression that he did it, those bugs were not living long.
It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
Yep.
Do you think this was always
I don't
no
know.
windows either? Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
Oh! Fitz and Poppy. And then a drawing of Fifi and a drawing of Detective Hackshaw. I guess this one is a man with a woman in a garden is because I haven't met Poppy yet. Yeah, Fifi and Hawkshaw. Interesting. Okay.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight?
Maybe they're fake.
Painting supplies.
Even though we're halfway up a tower, someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
Interesting.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
Aww.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Poor thing.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Vent?
Do you think this was always
I don't
no
know.
windows either?
Yeah, that might not be a vent. What's up with the
There's no
anything
natural
about
light in
this?
here at all.
I like it.
Hell yeah, same.
A lot of these paintings look unfinished.
How can you tell if they're finished or not?
Good point.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Aesthetic.
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on.
Why not?
There's a smaller version down by the floor.
Ah,
It's a
yeah.
photograph.
Oh, the reference. Maybe? A small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. If it's a photograph of the painting, then... Oh, I can zoom in. That's neat. Yes. Bird. Yes, yes, yes. Okay then. Interesting. I didn't mean to do that.
Cool. Looks like old.
Wait, so that's Freya's room. What's this one? Workshop. Oh, there's a guy in here. Pufferfish.
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or mead, maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
Oh.
A map with a dotted line and an X marked on it.
Whoa.
That's a very boring way to describe a treasure map.
More maps?
No, they're just blank.
Oh.
You get a good view of the lake from here. A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also,
Fair enough.
No offense, but you can just tell.
Oh, these ones are green. The other paints were blue. A wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been hand-painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. There's no red, but there's red on the actual thing. And if you look at these paints, they have like a green tint to them, whereas Freya's paints have a blue tint to them. Yeah, these ones are also perfectly round, and these ones have like, yeah, that's a whole different kind of bottle. Oh boy, somebody took one of those paints and added it to Freya's.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus,
Good
there's a
point.
treasure map hanging directly above it.
Good point.
What's the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Oh, okay, so dragon, plant slash tree or whatever, and then a big roll of rock. Okay, so dragon. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, dragon, plant, rock, right here. So, wait. 3 or H, maybe? Unless it can be either. Okay, so that's that. 2 or I, so it's gonna be a 2. And then J or 3, so it'll be a J over here. There's no J though. Okay, we might need to do a different one then. Their directions? You're right. Or wait, no. Okay, 4I south then.
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
No? 4I and then it's south? Okay, let me try north.
Still locked.
I think there's like they're different versions.
That was...
The padlock's just a grid reference for the map.
That was...
The padlock has 3 different inputs. It's just a grid reference for the map.
Okay, I tried all of those, so it's not I4 then. Okay. Okay, dragon. Okay, let's look at this one. We can't do that from here. I don't think we can see that from there. This is the most obvious one, though. Okay, this one would need a dragon. This one can't see a dragon, basically, anywhere. This one can. This one can here, but H6W? Oh yeah, okay, thanks. That would be one of the next ones I said. Yeah, that makes sense. H6W.
There we go.
Yeah! I was trying to figure out, because, like, yeah, that is farther away.
Perfect. What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Some birds and some people. Okay, a model resembling a child with green hair. Child with green hair? I guess, is that supposed to be? A woman with gray hair, a red and white bird, a broad-shouldered man. Oh, there's the red paint, and that's Freya's red paint. The fuck is up with your paint, dude? Okay, I'll investigate you later. What's in
The
the
entire room
thing?
is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
Oh, wow.
What is it?
He's an imp.
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
I see him every
It's
day.
a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
Good point.
A pencil drawing of a mountain on a moonlit night.
Mood.
Mood.
Puffer fish?
Puffer fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp, for some reason. A lot of redundant light sources in here. A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in.
The
Politely.
entire room is made of wood.
No, it's
Okay.
not just the actual hull.
You get a good view of the lake from here.
Aladdin.
It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure.
This game takes a hard left turn.
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so.
It would be a big crab, wouldn't it?
Shelf junk.
Alright, old man. Actually, I don't know
Sir?
how old you are.
Can you
You just
hear
have the
me?
vibe.
I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some
Grimoire.
questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
You got
And,
tattoos.
This is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
Does
If
Sally
you
have a
would,
last
Mr.
name?
Fellow, we really need to ask you about the
Well,
murder.
I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering
This guy's past his
secret
prime, isn't he?
rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
So, Felix, what exactly do you...
Do.
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer / treasure hunter. Yes,
Wow.
best in the world.
We're talking like cursed statues, spike pits.
It's a
Wow.
little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And,
Really?
if I may ask, when did you retire?
Listen here. I may be between ventures right
yes,
now,
sure,
but it's
sure,
simply
yeah.
not in my nature to stay in one place for too long.
And how long has it been
I
exactly?
go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the fellow family has certain loyalties, and with
yes, of
Flora
course,
the
yes,
way
yes.
she is,
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Of course.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Aww.
Uh-huh.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here.
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help.
You're
but I
sus
wish
as
you
hell.
all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
I don't know if you did it, but you're
It's a
sus.
simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
He pauses. I'm placing a bet right now this guy was like making like a birthday present for Flora or something, and he really doesn't want anybody to know about it.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version.
Right.
Oh.
Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Yes. Okay, tell me about people then.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two
Congrats.
still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
How hard of a left turn is this game gonna take?
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me,
okay.
get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Ah. I don't have good, I'm getting bad vibes from this guy, but you know. That is a good point. We have not yet found the butler, but when it's the butler, we fucking
Quite
got
the
it.
character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is
The
that a
fucking
real
what?
thing?
No, I just meant to, because we both wear, you know, red capes.
I have a red
of the
cape
sort.
IRL.
Has she questioned you yet?
I'm not part
If
of
you
shit.
call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say.
Just means that I got a cool
I
cape.
heard from the grapevine. Supposedly, Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
And
How
you
do
would
you
know.
know?
Because I would have heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially after, especially
The incident.
recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Interesting.
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old.
Aw.
She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not.
I
She
mean,
had
it's
no
hard to when
formal
you're
claim
3
over
years old.
anything at Tangle Tower. Fitz?
Fitz.
I don't trust him. He's
What?
slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
Brain like
onion.
an
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
I respect the reasoning, but I like Fitz too much. I immediately became endeared to that guy.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all.
Is there
Something of a
enough?
fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
Cut. Whoever voice acted this guy is having the time of their life.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
Dang.
I'm as confused as you are. It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion
fuck
of
is
the
up
piece
with this
taken
guy?
over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in
Fuck
Flora's
off.
hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Fair enough,
Rules to
yeah.
live by.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
What ended up cracking all these things?
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall. Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are
they?
cracked
Do they?
down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
What's up with the
You
paint,
seem
dude?
pretty sure about that.
You seem pretty sure about that.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd. Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way. In a
What if
good
it was
way.
an evil way?
That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes.
Rude.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait.
That's what I
based
figured.
on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower.
They go to a
Safety
different
first
school
and
in
all
Canada.
that. You found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
And a bird. I know Freya. I don't know who that other one is.
There's something about Felix's painting supply.
I figured that out already.
Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Later. I can ask you about the paints now, I think. Haha!
About this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it.
Really?
I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
Incredibly.
We never said it was suspicious.
Then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of
I didn't even
discussion.
see the lids, dude.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to. Let's take a closer look at this.
Aha! I get to do my little thing. Okay. Okay, but the lids were swapped to hide it. This full love was stolen and replaced with? Ah, okay. Okay, Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya's supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway?
'Cause it's
None
weird.
of this is connected to your murder.
Connected or not, it's still a weird fucker. Oh yeah, blood. This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood. Before Freya used it to paint Flora?
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something.
Yep.
Right. Fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint.
What's
There
up
was
with
a
your
certain
project,
amount
dude?
of time pressure. So I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday.
What'd I fucking say?
Red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened. Seemed a bit, insensitive.
Alright, so that's you. Oh cool, it has that symbol there, so I won't forget. I might circle back to her. I wanna continue looking through this tower before I talk to her. Fifi's room. Oh wow. A lot of stuff in here to look through.
Boxes of stuff.
That's a whole lot of books. Nice room.
It's a mess, but yeah.
Teddy bear.
Accused suspect. Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge.
I'm so glad she yes-anded him.
It's a bed.
Barely. I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse.
Scientific formulas. Probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea what any of it means.
Honesty.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off the pipe.
Aww.
It looks like a microscope. A big one.
Can I touch it?
What's up with this? Ooh.
I'm not sure this is a microscope.
Okay, wait, let me look at this. Oh, okay, so it needs to look like that key. It's like... something like... that?
I guess that's wrong.
The four lenses, so they must each have a specific position.
Oh, there's a fourth one. Okay, wait. Okay, so... oh, okay, wait. they all have the symbols on them. This one, it magnifies by 3. This one makes smaller. Okay, wait. Aha! Okay, let's just move that one fully out of the way. That just makes it smaller. If I... Okay, that doesn't help. I think this bit at the end needs to be smaller. No? I thought I had it at the beginning here, and now I'm struggling. Okay, move everything out of the way again. Looking just at this here. Okay, I think this one does need to be on this. Or no, maybe that's too big. Okay, and let's get the second one. Okay, it's the second one then. If I go like that. I mean, that's...
Nope.
You need to magnify different parts of the image. Looks like you might need to overlap.
Okay, so I can overlap them. Okay, this one I'm confident in. The ads are going, but I'm just gonna keep trying to figure this out. Could do like that. This middle bit is the thing that's fucking me up the most, I feel. This fucking thing. Okay, if I reset... That doesn't really do much, does it, huh? Resetting it. I swear I'm good at puzzles. So like, I know what the solution is, I just am not finding it. I knew I had to make the key. But these bitches hate me. And I can overlap them. But it's not helping. It would make sense to do this one in an overlap with the other one, because this one's a minus, this one goes farther away, and then the other two are close-up guys. Put 3 in the first spot. The one over here. Or... because I think this one is... that lines up real well. At least better than number 3. Welcome back from the ads, everybody who got them. I'm still doing this shit. This is the entire rest of the stream. 3 is first, you swear? You mean here? If I do both here? No, just 3? Does that count?
Nothing.
You want to close start by finding or vice versa.
No, that was it.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Nice work.
Thank you, chat.
Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
Interesting. Secret diary. A well-used book resembling a diary. It's locked with a strange metal device. Alright, that was that.
A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. Stuff Fifi's thrown away.
You gonna rummage through the trash can?
Of course.
No, that is quite beneath me. Thank you.
Come on.
I give it 5 minutes before you're in there.
Stuff Fifi's.
I was hoping
give
I
it
could
5
do
minutes
it.
That's a whole lot of books. Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me. Plus, they're kind of dusty.
Now what's up with
Fifi's
this?
got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
Okay. Some random math along the side, as well as, okay, so... Poppy and Fitz. The doctor or professor or something, and Hawk, other syllable. But also the professor with Penelope, I think was her name. I think that's Flora. With, I forgot his name, but the annoying guy. Is that me? And then there's...
Is that supposed to be me? Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face you make when you're thinking. Does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this?
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be Felix.
It's Detective Hawkshaw.
And that's you, Sally.
What?
Oh, that is Sally.
I do not look like that, do I? Looks like Fitz. Who is that?
No idea. Who's that?
Not sure.
That's gotta be Flora.
Interesting.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Oh, I didn't click on Poppy.
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
Interesting. That does make me want to double check the family tree again. Now that I've met some of these
is that?
people.
I think it's a family tree.
And click on their names now.
Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at all.
Yeah. Da-da-da. We've met Felix.
Felix Fellow.
We met him. He's one of the suspects.
And
Flora Remington.
We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Fitz Fellow.
We met him. He's one of the suspects. Fiona
we met
Fellow.
her. She's one of the
We met
suspects.
her. She's one of the suspects.
Okay. I thought we would get more dialogue there, but it's a repeat of I wonder if they're living somewhere in the house. All right, let's see. I believe this should be Fitz's room. Aww.
Oh, wow.
What?
It's a big empty space.
That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
It's a little handmade card.
Hmm.
Someone's drawn a heart on the front. Inside it says, "To Fitz, from PP."
Oh. You might be the one who isn't. If it has a heart on it, maybe they were the
Huh.
tree.
Neither of these lights have an actual light bulb.
They're just decorative.
Oh,
Ooh.
so decorative. An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know. Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked.
Hmm.
It's a combination lock. Sort of.
Is this anything? Ah, this might be a, okay. This might be a thing where, like, all of the different variations. Okay, so we've gotten 2 of them. I've already done that one. That's the one I just did. Teardrop shape. And one more. This must have been really something to design.
There we go.
Perfect. Anything in there?
Seems like it would be difficult.
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh. That's kind of ominous.
Oh. PP Heart FF. A metal gardening trowel with a decorative pattern. It has a decorative pattern engraved onto it and letters on either side of a heart. PP Heart FF. So if that's from
Doesn't look soft.
Fitz. Doesn't look soft. Aw.
There's someone outside the window.
Something outside the window. It's
Oh.
probably just a rock.
You sure? It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are,
What's that thing by the handle?
Oh.
Nothing. Still locked.
The tiles have all got that same sun symbol on them.
Those moon symbols in the slots. Are they connected?
Maybe they're connected, but also not connected.
Okay, maybe on the...
Nope. It's not budging.
Maybe the information we need isn't here.
So
Good
where is it?
point.
Somewhere else.
Alright,
Let's come back once we...
we'll come back later. Can't get there yet. Let's go talk to Flora. Hi, Flora. Before I... actually, you know what? Maybe this will make you
So,
more talkative.
This painting. Specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
I love that animation. It's not a
It's
knife.
not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
Where's the bird?
Let's take a closer look at this.
Mhm. The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink
The
dip
pink
bird.
knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically.
But
Is there
the
anything
guy,
to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too?
the guy was painting his thing.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think
She
of it,
likes it.
why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
She likes birds. The ink dip bird was maybe her pet? So she kept a feather to remember it by?
The ink dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe. Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the
Right, there
window.
was something
By the way,
sad.
she kept the feather. I think
That
it
happened to
was
her
pretty important
recently.
to her.
All right. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does.
Normally, and probably in
This
the
is
egg.
where Flora usually keeps her feather.
The egg.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty.
Because she had taken it out to pose with it in for the
Flora?
portrait.
She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait. There's something tucked inside this one.
Aww. Drawings of Flora and a small bird. There's a handwritten message on the back. These are for you. Love, Freya, X. Cute.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try. We spoke to your daughter Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist.
Yeah.
You must be proud of her. We spoke to Hawkshaw.
Oh,
I assume
hydrate.
she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each
I
other?
took a little bit too
than
big
your
of a drink
initials.
there. We're good. I recovered. Okay, what else? I'm just gonna show her everything, and she's just not gonna say shit, and it's gonna be
Have
fine.
you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was gonna say something there.
Oog.
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies? You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
Yeah, that one felt rude to show. So did that one.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Alrighty then. Well, you're up to date on all the things that I have now, Flora. Alright. So, nothing in here except for the gramophone to further interact with, and okay. This guy I've already talked to. I wanted to... I think it was Fitz who said something, or maybe Fifi. I was trying to remember what they said about Flora's room. I think it was something about the cassette tape, wasn't it? Or maybe it was Poppy's
It's a
room.
little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer,
Aha!
maybe. They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Cool as hell. Alright. Paper moments here. Okay. Aha, okay. These two. Like that. That fits there. That fits there. Nice. 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 Okay. Orange, green, pink, blue? Oh, there's 2 greens and 2 blues. And 2 pinks, actually. Okay. Those might mean nothing then. Okay, wait. It's like short green. But the greens are the same size. These are size, or shapes, rather. It's like the tall one here, maybe? And the short one?
Nothing.
Did you find a hint on those scraps of paper? It looks like a ripped-up jigsaw puzzle.
Well, I figured out where it the order of the paper. I don't know what it means, though. Unless it can also be rearranged in a different way, but I'm not fucking doing that. I guess these are also the same.
That was an
Each brush has various characteristics. Height, bristle shape, paint color, handle color.
Oh.
The information we need is on the paper, once it's been rearranged.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the short orange one first. Then one of the greens. Then pink with the thing. Okay, got it. So those 3 are right. Then those 2 like this.
That's done it.
Got it.
Neat.
Had to think of it like a logic puzzle.
What was in the box?
That's
Just a
yeah.
photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
Huh. Photograph of two young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. So I assume this might be Poppy here. It's Fifi and Freya. The photo has a large piece missing. It seems to have been ripped off. Interesting. I don't see anything else in here. If not, we can come back to it. Let's... Okay, we haven't found that piano or mouth. Should we talk to the other guys? We might swing by them later. I feel like we should explore all the rooms. Oh, here's piano. So here's Poppy.
Alright, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion. Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Some books.
1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Sounds like a recipe for a disaster.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you? Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
Hell
What's
yeah.
with all the broken glass?
Broken glass. Horn statue. A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Inside the horn and on the ground below, there are various shards of cracked glass. More cracked things.
Alright, you
Okay,
got your
spooky.
spooky murder mansion. Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
It's a globe.
For globing.
For globing.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
Like that Mario.
Alright, you
Or
got
is it
spooky
Luigi?
murder mansion.
Whatever. Hi. You look so
Are
cool.
you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Hello.
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
What's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to
Nice.
ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
You're
Hey,
so cool looking.
You're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
Nice.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Fair enough.
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
Fair
what
enough.
did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse.
That might be the thing that caused all the cracks.
I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Neat. Well, I got some questions for you about some people.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Are you gonna be like that for everybody I ask you about? Hell yeah.
Fog on drifter, holding fast. Days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make round a room. Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Huh.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
Ominous.
Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
Aww.
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
And yourself?
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a
Aw.
little short, doesn't it?
You don't have a cool thing for yourself, though? Come on.
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the Fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea. There's something I noticed
What is
about
that?
Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is just a little too
Perfect.
peaceful.
Mm. Yeah, there's not a lot of other blood
What do
splatters.
you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird. Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone, or signed by anyone?
Yep.
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you?
Mm.
When I
Fair enough.
first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps.
It gives
Nothing
me
about
something
the
to
knife
ask
makes
questions
any
about.
sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything. What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh. It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it.
Mm.
Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody. Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear.
No way.
Oops.
Freya took good care of her stuff. Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling, with Fitz lurking in the shadows. the
Fitz
whole
is
time.
cool though.
Yeah, he does that. That belongs to Flora, I think. Hey, that's me.
That's
Not a
you.
bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that? I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly?
Oh, how nice. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I
That's
thought
my
you and
job.
Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
Trowel?
Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh. Never seen him use it. How sweet.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
And who
How
else
come
is
you're
in
not
there?
in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fair enough.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable.
In
So
this
look at
horn
me.
statue?
I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
Neat.
I wonder what's in there.
Later. Alright. So we found that piano. Assumedly she has another one in her room. What's up in here? Birds! Many birds. So many birds. And also
Check out that
butterfly.
Looks evil.
Evil butterfly.
Judgmental.
A rather magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
Probably for Pointer.
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
Wow. Nice.
Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah. No. Doesn't matter.
Bird diagrams. Hand painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Nice, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Ooh. Birds in cage. 3 brightly colored birds in a heavy, ornate cage.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage.
Mm.
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Ooh.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
Huh.
does this count as...
Yeah, no, doesn't matter.
Hello.
Oh, just beautiful. What
Your
is
design is
Huh?
excellent.
it? Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
That's why your hair is
you're
like that?
The detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of
Got
it.
it.
Penelope
She's
sounds a little
awesome.
ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Love this character.
Sure. Yeah.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends
20-something.
are birds.
Travel. Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter
Nice.
where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Because of the birds.
No, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Oh?
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé,
Ooh.
dear Fitz. He's
Oh.
not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
So you're the one with the little heart thing.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That, and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Aww. I'm glad, like, it's so funny how, like, the two characters I was immediately like, this character fucking rules, are engaged.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
One, two. Okay, sorry. I just remembered the Poppy saying 3 pointers and 4 fucking whatevers, and I forgot about Flora. My math was off.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
Later. I got shit to talk to her about.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
Little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix. I said it.
I mean, you know what?
I must say,
you're not wrong.
I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
Not so secretly.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. I mean, well, you don't need to.
No. It's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
Fucking, why is this person me?
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. All be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake.
Oh.
Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Wow.
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? the giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow.
The
I
ghost
just
of a
wish
scarecrow.
Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
Thank you.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st
No, tell me about your birds.
birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Nice.
Oh, she's beautiful! Who's she? Wait, is that me?
Fucking mood.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I can tell from your tone there. You don't care.
Finally, I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last
Relatable.
week I asked that miserable hawkshot woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was
Aw.
quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Damn.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
I know, right? I love her
doubt Freya
energy.
intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Oh, I'm glad that Grimoire was just like on the
Poppy's
ball there too.
gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone on account of
Aww.
it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
A color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene. Oh, that's rather sad. Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian. Had her own priorities. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
Fair.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me.
I like it.
I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind. Ooh, a secret diary.
I love
That's
her
our best
energy.
Excellent.
Oh, she's
Well,
so into this.
Did Fit show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
So I take it you did give it to him then.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
Aw.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
She's great. Okay. Bye-bye, Penelope. Okay. So we have 3 more rooms there. There's also this room that we haven't unlocked yet. And we can go back and, like, talk to all these people now that we, like, know more things, too. Penny's room.
Ever get the
Mannequin.
feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence.
Coward.
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious. That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Potted flower. A brightly colored flower with an unusual shape. It looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot looks fresh and moist. It's also an unusual blue color. Well, probably Fitz got that for her.
Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds? Nope.
Oh.
They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Huh. Okay. Are they like... Is this like a family tree? Do I gotta like... organize them based on like traits and stuff?
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged. Something to do with those white lines.
Yeah. Huh, okay.
I got it.
Yeah! It is genetics, okay.
I'm impressed. Did the door open? What's in there?
A ripped piece of paper crumbled into a ball. Red flower petals were found inside. A message is angrily scrawled onto the paper. Now I'll get her. Normal.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
That might be the most pointless staircase I've ever seen. Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
Some
A little
tea.
tea set. Looks recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Does it feel warm over here? Or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the
Oh?
wall.
That bed.
Does it feel
No.
it's not coming from the bed?
Huh.
That bed.
Does it feel
No.
it's not coming from the bed?
It's coming from the wall. There is enough room here for a room. I figured we would unlock that at some point. It's coming from inside the house.
This is the fanciest room so far.
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Alright, that's Penny's room. Then we have, I believe this should be Poppy's room. Every time I hear that music, I think it's gonna be Claire de Lune, but then I'm like, no, it's just off, isn't it?
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off. Empty. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly. I never realized there were so many shades of black.
There really are.
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor. Nothing weird about that.
To you.
No, there is nothing weird about it.
How do you even get drapes on the ceiling like that?
That's the real mystery.
For real. There's gotta be so many bugs up there.
More handwritten sheet music.
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye.
Of course.
More handwritten sheet music.
It's an eye. Similar to how there was an eye on the ceiling of the room with the painting.
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles.
Where the murder
Wouldn't
happened.
want it to be dark in here. There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright. Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8.
It's a sextopus?
Don't say it.
Sextopus. Gloomy.
But roomy.
Whoa.
Oh, wouldn't want it to be dark. A single red rose. How very traditional.
Yeah, weird. It's a metronome for keeping time.
Ah, I thought it was a fucked up clock.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Oh. Wait, what do these mean? Oh, okay, so this will reset
Reset
here.
the puzzle? Reset the puzzle?
Okay, that's an interesting way of resetting it. Ads have started, or they started a bit ago actually, but, well, I'm doing a puzzle, so. This one does the Y and the circle. This one does the circle and the cross. This one does the square and the Y, this one does the square and the cross. There we go.
There we go.
That's what I said!
Perfect.
Alright, I'm gonna wait here for the ads to be over. This is really fun. I've been really liking this. I really like all these guys. The characters are so good. And the art style, they're so shaped. And the way that they move, like, three-dimensionality is really hard to do. And, like, you can really tell that, especially, like, the way they move. They feel 3D, and that's really fucking cool. It's really hard to do. And the weight is also really good. I like it. I like it all. I'm also a sucker for that little scrungly thing where, like, the lines, like, sort of jitter back and forth like that. I don't know if there's a term for that, but you guys know what I mean. People do it sometimes, and I always love it. You told Leah earlier, it's like Jacob drew the characters and Julia did the backgrounds. I think when I was talking about this game the first time, I was like, they have real Jacob characters. Yeah. God, I am jealous immensely of anybody who can draw backgrounds. This game especially, this whole the art style of these backgrounds is so fucking cool. Ads should be over right about now. So, for those of you who got ads, I solved a puzzle. I solved a metronome puzzle that was like right there.
What happened?
Little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph.
Is it the other half?
Part of a photograph.
Ah. So Poppy used to be like a I don't know the term for a prep. She's a prep. The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. The girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. The rest of the photo shows Fifi and Freya. It was hidden in Freya's room.
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Later.
Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about.
Damn, alright.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. That is the.
I thought maybe you'd say something about the treble clef.
Sheet music, presumably for piano.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
One second. A-C-E-E-E-E. Okay, I don't think this is spelling out anything, never mind. I was just like, okay, E-E-E. Okay, nope. Okay. I'll come back to Poppy in a second. Oh. He's twerking.
What is it?
Ah, it's clearly some kind of large device.
You're not wrong.
Yep.
A
Looks...
spyglass to the stars. Volumes 1 to 12.
They're in very good condition. There's something kinda disappointing about this room.
Oh?
I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to? Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Good point.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
But also,
You know,
the sun
I've
is a
always
star,
wanted one
so...
of those.
The clouds, if they block the sun...
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle. Sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
This isn't old. Wow. Super fucking eclipse.
Nothing.
So there are 2 ways to move the shadows. Rotate the planets, and rotate the sun and moon.
Oh, maybe these, symbols on the... Yeah, this one is a bit bigger. I feel like... Okay. Okay, so they would need to be up and down. Is that right? It might need to be a bit more like, oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's really close. Okay, okay. Oh, that's so close, though. Oh. Oh, like that. Haha.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad. Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
Oh.
There's a little hatch underneath. What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Oh, the golden scarab, or beetle, rather, that the hawk person was looking for. Golden beetle. Various research notes and diagrams. Number 4. The golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of a mineral approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss, records of over 95 decibels, and by being completely undigestible. This mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it. Huh.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
It's tidier than mine is.
So, even the most well-used notebook.
A picture frame.
With no picture.
Not really used?
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally?
Hello.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet.
I need an adult.
And yet, so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find
point.
yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Professor.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
I missed half of that sentence because I was thinking about the Set It Off song Duality.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Just a little
Sounds
hobby.
like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no.
Yeah.
My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
And yesterday.
It began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you
the
see
hand
anything?
wiggles.
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
I'll get your statement in a second. I wanna... There's a few
It's a
things I
chart of
haven't
the
looked
solar
at
system.
yet.
Which planet are
Okay,
you?
I have looked at that.
It's too cloudy.
It's
Okay,
also daytime.
I wasn't sure if that plant was anything. There's these.
There's something kinda... I just
Oh,
expect...
does it not compare?
Oh, are they leaves?
There's something kinda...
Okay, they're leaves. I thought they were like footprints leading up to him.
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
I wanna try.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured you could
It's
see
the
her from
tower
here.
opposite this one. I can just about see the gramophone.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down.
You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle.
The door?
I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges.
And of course.
It's the tower opposite this one.
Oh,
Is that a window?
there we go.
I think it is.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there. Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
Oh. That's weird.
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside.
Oh?
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall.
For that, yeah.
Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Alright, well, I got everybody to ask you about.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a
Okay, fuck off.
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Great.
Ah yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
Yeah.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
Thanks.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Oof.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Okay. Penny.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time. Until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the fellows.
Fucking suck.
Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
This guy fucking. Jesus Christ.
I don't especially want to talk about myself.
Great, I don't like you.
Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
No thanks.
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things
To be
here on
fair,
Earth.
I don't
My
have
daughter
any.
loved her. Fiona, too.
Yeah.
That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Okay, then. Can't believe I have to keep talking to you. I don't hate him that much, he's just got such...
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
Oof.
No, her brother and sister, and her father.
Yeah.
The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information,
Oh
is
my
it?
god.
It's
Stop
enough.
insulting me.
A very old statue indeed.
If you're gonna do
I'd
it, do it in a
recommend
silly
you leave
roundabout
it well
way.
alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
That was sus. You want me to leave it alone? Even though I think it might be a clue?
Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Hell yeah, Sally. Every woman
Point of
deserves an
property
empty egg.
originally purloined by the fellows. Typical.
Fuck off. Literally, I like how nobody else has cared about the feud, the alleged feud, except for this one fucking guy.
I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After
No.
all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Is this important?
Possibly.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's
they're
wrong
pretty.
with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
'Cause they're pretty.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Unless they knew each other before.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
I've been seeing like a mountain, like a weird sunset
This
slash
is supposed
sunrise
to be
or whatever.
Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know.
You could. Okay.
A
fuck
diary
off.
can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary.
What if it's upside down? I can't exactly rotate it to check. I don't know if that would make it any less abstract.
Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
Also, there's a bit of paint or a tape on it, right? There's a bit of tape on it up here. And I imagine, I don't know if this was correct or not, but the tape implies to me that it was like stuck to something, and you would have the tape at the top of it, because otherwise it would just flop over.
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Dude.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a
Playing
trumpet.
a trumpet, yes. That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, aren't we all trapped
Oh
in
my
a cage?
god.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not
Cool
sure.
one.
I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business.
You know what? I
Possibly
respect
none
that.
of yours either. What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either. Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall.
Aw.
So,
What's up with
we
this
found some
fucking beetle?
research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it
You
must
sure
be
about
something
that?
left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower.
You hired
I'm
a
not the
person
first
to look
scientist
for
to
it.
ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
You're sus as hell.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Oh? So
That's
cool.
all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
We'll do that later.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really
Your
don't like to give
blank
exact
desk.
values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask
Your
me these things?
Earth-centric
I have
model.
a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
That's a way to put it. Them beetle.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Was actually looking at Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Yes.
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around. Both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. the telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your state,
So
doesn't
something
No,
probably
everything I told you in my statement was true.
did like
Apart
something with
from
the
the reason
gramophone.
you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
I think maybe like the gramophone went real loud and then cracked everything.
it? Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Sure. No, we're going all the way over here for this.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me.
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer. So I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Unless they're in on it together.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
Blood from the paint pot. I guess.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather. Unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Interesting. Though we still have more to explore.
It's a garden, I think. Ready when you are.
Oh, can I talk to you here? Oh, cool. Okay. So we still have more people to talk to. We have this to figure out. There's a couple other things to figure out. Oh, right, I can talk to you about that thing. There's still people that we haven't seen there. There's that room there. Let's go talk to Poppy about her thing.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Yep.
Sure it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
You used to like these colors.
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
Where is it? There it is.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
Tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
That is not me.
Yeah, it is.
I'll prove it. You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends. Why'd you tear it up and then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward. Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Ominous.
This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How
Mhm.
did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
There we go. We figured out your thing. Alright. Oh, is that like a hint button? I don't need that right now. Okay. We have 15 minutes of stream left. I think that's enough to investigate a room. Oh! Doggy.
It's a statue of a wolf, standing up straight, like a man.
Like me.
You know, there's a name for that.
Not the straight part, but you know.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
She was gonna say, like, it's real.
Nothing catching my interest.
And then it kills me.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda. What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it.
Aw.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda. Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious.
Sally, you don't have a dust allergy, do you?
No. Do you?
Let me put it this way. Tush!
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry.
Kinda. It's a jar. The head screws off.
Huh.
Huh.
Just dusty junk. Just dusty junk. Just dusty
Okay,
junk. What
then we'll
is
do
that?
the obvious thing then.
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
Reel thingy. A brass reel with a screw at the top. Coiled around the reel is a length of fine red rope. Interesting.
Nothing catching my interest.
Sorry.
Kinda.
Is that everything up here? What might that attach to? A gramophone, maybe? Or the horn statue? Alright. Well, assuming that this entire thing fills up, we'd have 4 more clues to find. And we haven't asked everybody about everybody yet. Alright. I did also want to look at
What
this again.
is
I
that?
think it's a family tree.
They're just chilling. Okay. I want to hear it again.
Penelope Pointer. You met her. She's one of the suspects.
Holy shit, dude.
Pandora.
Okay,
oh,
we
yes, she
actually
doesn't live
haven't.
here anymore.
Oh, I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
Buck. Guess he doesn't live here anymore.
Oh my god.
Lady Pointer.
How do I want to
Okay.
be a lead?
I went a little too old.
Richard
The
Remington.
one and only. Primrose? I guess she doesn't
I
live
guess
here.
she doesn't live here anymore. Okay. Where? Yeah. Where to next? I guess we should talk to the silent person. Hello. Okay.
You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Remore, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Hell yeah, dude.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter? Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
Birds in general? No?
anything about this beetle?
None about the beetle?
Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
Dang. Who would have guessed that the woman who doesn't talk doesn't have anything to say? Dang. Alright. Okay, what are puzzles that we haven't solved yet? We haven't solved that thing. There were like symbols in both of your rooms that didn't do much for me. Actually, if I go back over to Poppy's room, because Poppy also has access to the other one. What does this one do?
A big glass door leads out into a garden.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Oh, I have an idea. Yours is gonna have moons, isn't it? And then sun icons. Okay, so the moons are like that. Bup, 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 bup. Got it.
Something happened.
That must be it. And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
And if we go over to Fitz's room,
It's locked.
I thought
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
da-da-da.
Nothing. Still
Is
locked.
that not
Tiles
it?
have all got that same sun.
Those moons.
Maybe they're connected.
There, okay.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right. Finally, it's open.
Whatever's
Hell
on the
yeah.
outside better be worth it.
8 minutes left. I think I'm gonna save that for next stream. Just because I think I'm really close to the end of this game. And, you know...
Quit song.
Sorry,
Every room is gonna be
I don't know how to exit this game. I don't know how to exit. I hit escape and it just makes the window smaller. Whoa. I'm just gonna hope that this game has autosave. Woo! And if it doesn't, that's a noise I've made now. I have to finish. No, this isn't one shot. Alright. Thank you all so much for watching. I believe next Thursday we're going to be finishing this game. It'd be wild if I wasn't. Yeah! It was very good. Very like it. It's so good. I like, it's... Maybe it'll be 3 streams? Oh no. I spend the entire next stream failing so hard at a single puzzle that forever it's just that. This game fucking rules. I love it so far. The characters are so good. And once again, the fucking art. God, it's so good. I love it. I love it. I don't think I have anything else to say. I think it's really good. And that's about it. And I run out of outro words. So, bye!